Hood postman, reporting live. This the hood postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the wheel with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes, I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes, I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told them no lie. Let's ride. Hood postman, 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 hood postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mill, the Hood Postman. It is Hood Church Sunday. It's where we get a chance to address some of the issues. This not even issues, just some of the things that we went through during the week, and some things that stand out most than others. So this Sunday, this fun day Sunday, I would like to talk about my interview with Johnny Ray and those the things they talked about. I've never talked with anybody about, and I think they brought up some information, especially in regards to the San Pedro boys and the Cute 102s. They did that because they talked about just an array of things, and the things they talked about mostly that stood out for me is the fact Mac Thomas, of course, they talked about Big Bull, they talked about Mad Dog, they talked about Moto, they talked about Crip Crazy, Junior Sport, and a host of others. Frog, of course, it was Johnny Ray's brother, rest in peace, Frog. So yeah, and Johnny Ray explained, how they went from San Pedro boys, Washouts Crips to the now what is Cute 102, and he talked about how they got the name, which was I think kind of widely known that they actually got it from the Cute 102 radio station, which made sense, Johnny Ray, right? He even brought up the fact about 1974 when the record Crip Dog, and you guys can go Google this. It was a record called Crip Dog out by a guy named Al Johnson. Al Johnson. Go look, Google it. It's on the actual record is on YouTube. I'm a Crip Dog. Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. He talked about when Junior Sport, him and Mad Bull got into it. Big Bull, yeah. When they got into it. So, yeah, he talked about that. And he also clarified something that Cheetah said. Cheetah was referenced that Mad Dog could have been a bully, but, Nose and Johnny Ray, they didn't see it that way. You know what I mean? They said Mad Dog was who he was, but he was no bully. And the way they talked about Mac Thomas convinced me that they were actually not saying that Raymond didn't do what he did, but they were actually two East Sides. I mean, in regards to how everybody was structured, it was the East Side, but then there was the north of the East Side and the south of the East Side. So, and I'm just saying that a lot of those cats that hang out with Mac Thomas, Isaacs, Roosevelt, Junior Sport, Johnny Ray, Frog, Mad Dog, Moto, of course, and a host of others. They really didn't go on the side where Craddock and Number One and guys from the kitchen was Chucker Booty, you know what I mean? And he talked about all that stuff. But you know what's interesting about all this stuff is that how some of the information in the history has been suppressed in a way I don't think some people want to see it come out the way it really was. And I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I think that probably a lot of the history don't die with certain individuals on just the structure and what motivated the upstart, you know what I mean? Because Johnny Ray talked about when they was walking down the alley with ace deuces and leather jackets, and Mac Thomas and them was over a fence waiting, looking at them, and they jumped over the fence on them and robbed them. This is when before Johnny Ray was even accepted the Crip, you know, and they talked real highly of Mac Thomas. You know, they spent a lot of time saying that Mac Thomas was definitely one of those guys. You know what I mean? Of course, we know that Mac Thomas moved to Compton over to the Richland Farms, and you know, he had already him and Melvin and his brother Landis, they pretty much already had a structure, and they knew what the Crip looked like, and he had already had a vision for how he wanted, you know, even to the degree, right? You call this guy Mac Thomas. So anybody, you guys know how I feel about when somebody mention their whole name, there's something to that individual. But his name was being slung around so much to where he told, man, stop calling me Mac, call me Cisco, you know what I mean? Just trying to change things up, you know what I mean? So I thought Johnny Ray and Knowles, you know, I just want to play, you know, because Knowles was real passionate about, he's actually becoming a minister now, you know what I mean? So he's real passionate about how we need to change direction and get these kids' heads out of this, you know, what we know as Keyway and Damu, you know, we just do. And these are what some of his words right here.
Back in the 70s.
They had a movie called The Mac. And Goldie used to pull up in his Cadillac and see little kids. One little boy said, Goldie, when I get a bigger, I want to be just like you. Goldie said, I don't want to ever hear you say that again. You don't want to be like me. I challenge all you OGs out there to tell a youngster that he don't want to be like you. There's so many better things he can be in life besides trying to be a gangster.
There
now
it
you
is
can like this shit.
So that was Knowles right there. Johnny Ray had quite a few things to say too. Johnny Ray, for the most part, I don't want to, you know, reveal some of the things that he said at this point, but you guys will get to see the video in itself. And I think you'll be quite pleased with some. He even talked about dancing Sugar Bear. I believe Sugar Bear was originally from over there before he went over anywhere else. So yeah, he talked about him. Who else did he mention? That. So that Cute 102 has a very, very, very. He talked to my friend, which was Burnell. Burnell is Knowles. Burnell Robinson had a brother named Carl Robinson, Shotgun, which was a friend of mine. And when he was in the Red House over there with Tiny Man, Weasel, Mad Nut, Killer Carl, and a host of others. Bobby Collins, Lil Cross. I just sent Lil Cross's dress out, so he's coming home. He'll be home soon. Just sent it to him. So, but I want to give credit to Mad Dog and Moto's nephew for helping me get these guys together, you know, and be able to sit down and talk with them and speak with them, you know what I mean? Because I got Johnny Ray now, I got his number, and I can go back and, you know, there'll probably be some gaps and some holes, and we'll go back and fill those gaps and holes, you know. And it is, once again, history is medicine for a sick mind, for which history is a variety of human experience we can teach and learn from. These are teachable moments. So we got into this situation by a group effort, so we must move ourselves by a group. I would like to see all these things become social clubs and to where they help the community, provide for the community, and just gather resources to just be part of the community and let everybody know that that community is safe because it's protected by the Damu Keyway, no longer being terrorized by the Damu and Kiwe. You follow me? Okay, so with all that being said, I hopped over to 103rd Street in Watts, over to the Will Rogers Park, where I ran into my homie Gangster. He was out there. He was a vendor out there putting up his t-shirts and probably selling his books and stuff. And the homie JT was there. And I ran into Bull from Palmino and Jaime, Rare Breed, who's out there, who's an activist in the streets. And I ran from Snoop from Backstreet Watts. We're gonna try to get them on, talk to them. And then I ran to Tyrone Johnson out of Front Street Watts, and then I ran into Skull, Melvin Foreman, he was there also. And then I ran into TS, Tony Stacy. So it was a great event. These type of events, a lot of times when I go to them, I don't be really interested in taking people's pictures or interrupting their program, because they're there for a specific reason. And it's not for me to come in and be rude about it, be trying to get pictures and video them and all that stuff. So these times when I just like to be normal and just, be there too, because they had a host of guys. It reminded me of a mini Watts festival, because you had the lowriders. Of course, time has progressed in advance. We had the lowriders. We had guys up there performing, rapping, and doing things. We had vendors and booths and stuff. So I thought it was a really, really good thing. I appreciate how the Watts Car and individuals, Watts Life, I think it was Watts Life Car Club, was a part of it, and other car clubs as well, how they come together in their community and show people that they can be forward thinkers, they can elevate and motivate and spiritually come together as brothers, as one, and show the community how important it is to show we have rapport. We show have commonality. We show we're building on the experience of commonality and showing one another that we can get along and participate for the greater all of the community. That's what's important. The color, the skin right here, we're all the same color. Whether some shades are lighter, darker, in between, it doesn't matter. We're all considered Black people. And I want to point out also another thing, a bit of history I found out was fun. I think a fun fact. Franklin Square was a Black man. The guy these are 5 hoods that name after Black men. That's the Carvers, which was George Washington Carver, right? Then the Franklin Square was Mr. Franklin. And then you also had Roy Campanella, right? Who was a Black man, baseball. That's where the Campanellas get their name. That's the 3rd Black man. And then there was one more, who was it? I'm skipping somebody's name. But anyway, there was this guy whose name is Pico, right? Pico Rivera. A lot of people don't know. I want to do the Pico 13s know that their name is actually from, and you guys can look this stuff up. His guy's name was Pico Rivera. He was an Afro-Latino. He was Black. So I thought that was, interesting. So we had George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver, Carver Parks, Franklin, from the Franklin Square, Mr. Franklin. Then you had Roy Campanella from Campanella Park. And then you had the Pico guy, Pico Rivera. I'm missing one. I don't know who I'm missing, though. That's interesting. But they was all named after Black men. These are neighborhoods that was actually named after Black men, which was interesting. Bit of history right there. So let me say this. It isn't the strong that survive. Nope. It's the ones that most adaptable to change. Always remember that. It's the ones that are most adaptable to change. And that's how you win right there. When you have the ability to change. This is bothering me. I don't remember that name. Let me see, can I find it right here? Hold on just a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I got it right. It was Mr. Kitchens, where the Kitchen Crips get their name from, right? Those are the five hoods: the Kitchens, the Franklins, George Washington Carver, and Roy Campanella and Pico, Mr. Pico. Those all were black men. So those are five tribes that's named after black men. Do you know Kevac never disappointed? You and Kevac, right on. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. LSC Grace. But yeah, right on, man. Recordings. Thank you. Thank you. Those sons are in Italy. What an idea. A powerful social club. That word positive. Yeah, fraternities. Yeah, I think all the Dom moves and keyways should become social clubs. Advocates, protectors, maintainers of the community. Those individuals that look forward to uplifting the community. Build up before you tear down. Don't get too caught up and wrapped up in and personal beefs and beefs of behind vagina and that sort of stuff because a lot, let's be honest, and when we talk to Cheetah, she kind of man, that some of the stuff started, but I also want to show you this is my wife's cousin Showboat Michael Reddick. He was out of the Nuthood Watch section. He's actually written a book. I think it's pretty well put together. I've been reading it. I'm gonna finish up maybe in a day or so. And I want you guys, it's on Amazon, and that's him back there. Michael J. Reddick. Yeah, Michael Snide J. Reddick is what we call him. But the Snide J, yeah. So there it is there. So I just wanted to share that with you, and hopefully you guys are having a wonderful Sunday, an amazing Sunday, and Sunday fun day. So I like I say, I was able to just go out and be normal yesterday and not be and just enjoy the festivities and be around and with my people, socialize. And I'm talking to TS, I'm talking to Tyrone Johnson from Front Street, I'm talking to Jaime Brad Breed, I'm talking to the Bull from Palm and Oak, I'm talking to Gangster TS, of course, and just a host of guys. But my biggest talk was with the Nose from the East Side and Johnny Ray, and you're going to see them as they explain how all that came together. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to be amazing, and we'll continue to search it, and see where the information lead us and how these older guys, because they're getting more and more comfortable, because they wasn't comfortable with this at first, which was, and I understood that they wasn't comfortable with the camera being placed. So it's very delicate, and it's very, you got to be very willing to often just humble yourself all the way down and see their position. Why? Because they want to know, why is this necessary? James, don't you see me? Got an interruption. Say what you got to say, James. So, yeah, it's just some people see you doing stuff and it'd be all about them at the moment. They don't care what you got going. Dad from Cute 102 Wall had been hearing about Johnny Bray, Bull, etc. the whole life, but you and Mac really put these legends on the screen for us. Thanks. Yeah, so when we put them on, it's not really Lock and Load. What's up, Lock and Load? Man, did you hear that bit of history, Lock and Load? That the Picos was the guy, he was an Afro Latino, and I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean? Being that some of these neighborhoods, how they reject us. Knowing that we Black and brown people are just one of the same people. There's no disconnection. Okay, they speak Spanish. So what? Learn how to speak Spanish too. I did. I know some Spanish. I know some German, and I know some Arabic, and I know, just to be yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, just to be know the culture, be comfortable in the culture, because there's things outside of my culture that I like. and I go to it. I enjoy, you know, tamales. I enjoy eating upside down, you know. I enjoy eating the gypsy goulash and stuff like that. So yeah, so certain things don't put yourself in a box, because you never know what might inspire you, what might give you rise, what might just give you a presence of mind and say, man, I really enjoy this. So don't lock yourself out. So when we was at these parks, at the park, and there was just a numerous of people just going around, many moving parts. People was performing and doing all sorts of kind of stuff. And I appreciated that, you know. But back to what the sister was saying, Miss 702. Yeah, I mean, you know, we got to get these guys comfortable. We got to be willing to come down off of whatever platform we on and just talk normal to them, and talk to them in a way that they, and make them comfortable and understand that we're not here to ridicule. We're not here to point fingers in a way that is going to cause you embarrassment, or it's going to cause people to look at you, you know, sort of differently. That's not the purpose. The purpose is that a lot of history is out, and a lot of these youngsters are following these neighborhoods, but don't know the history of it. They don't know. They just think that the only part they need to know is who they beefing with. It's a lot more to it. You got to understand the full component of why, you know, and why it's necessary to know your history. But because then, you know, when you know your history, you're subject to approach it a little different if you don't know it. It's just my take on it. So yeah, so when we sit down with these legends, because Knowles, I think Knowles is 67 and Johnny Ray is going to be 67. So yeah, they got me by a few years. And so they was there. They was, you know, I was amazed to hear some of the things they said about Mac Thomas that I didn't know, you know. Mac was really over there active on the east side. He was real active over there for 103rd and Avalon. And and then he was real active in Compton, you know. So yeah, that was interesting. And then when you hear about Big Mad Dog, you know, just, and then knows, he always say, this is the Mad Dog. He always, you know, mimic him how he would come off, you know what I mean? And I think that's interesting. And then I'm also talking, shout out to Gabo, you know, the nephew, for even, you know, saying, hey, man, we got to do this. We got to talk to this guy. We got to talk to that guy. Because Gabo know all these guys who they are, because those are his uncles, and he saw them, they was around, you know. So I thought that was important, that he even wants to see it, you know, told in the right way. I love me some soul food. I know I'm locking up. That's my guy. That's my guy right there. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. I know you guys are getting ready, geared up, ready, putting on your jerseys, get ready to root for your teams, which is always important. And again, I want you guys to know, it isn't the strong that survive. No, no, no. It's the ones that most adaptable to change. When you're adaptable to change. So that's why you see the Johnny Rays, you see the Noses, you know, and you see the head honchos, you know what I mean? And some of the people that still, the Bitter Dog Brunos, of course, that are still around, that's able to tell these stories. I always say I wish there was a Compton panel, Sag, Cynthia, etc. Compton was the base in the southern migration, and Compton was a beautiful for blacks then. We need to, that again, black people living open, what is that? Openly. Yeah. So opulent, sorry. So yeah, definitely 702. We definitely need that. Definitely need that. You know, black and brown alike, because we share the community together, and we went to the same playgrounds. I remember there was a guy, his name was Sergio. Sergio was actually Poncho and Dopey and Coach Cheese and all the guys from CB3, but Sergio, he wanted to play baseball. He didn't want to be from CB3, you know. So he spent all his time in Oaks Park, you know, swinging that bat, you know. Yeah. Sergio, yeah, definitely. Shout out to him, man, wherever he's at, you know. And I'm still gonna get my homeboy Brummy to come on, Murray Brumfield. He has a lot of stuff that he needs to say. So we're doing the work. We're finding people. We're making it more comfortable. We're making it more genuine. And when we get these guys, we just got to find a way to connect to them, connect with them, and make them, you know, understand that I'm not here to make you look any type of way. I just want you to give the history based on your experience and perception of the reality. So what's behind the appearance is always the reality, and they have a way to address it, and they know, you know. And I understand that some of them are apprehensive, some of them are not so willing to step up, you know. And there's an empathetic side of it, you know, where they don't have no concern, they don't care, you know, because they went through it, it came out of it, they live great lives, you know, some of them, and they don't want nobody to know that that's who they were back then. They just don't, you know. I get it. But anyway, I want you guys to enjoy your day. As for me, I'm finna get my morning started. You know, see what's for breakfast. I gotta eat, right? It's essential, right? So I don't want to be one of those ones that suffer from malnutrition or information malnutrition. I think they both play a part in we being healthy, spiritually, mentally, and physically. With that being said, shout out to Miss 702. Shout out to Lock and Low, my guy. Shout out to Granberry. Right on. I appreciate you, Tanya. I appreciate you. Shout out to the recordings, the real LLC recordings. Shout out to King Mike Marks, XL, my guy. Demon, what's happening, Demon? Where have you been, man? I've been missing you, bro. Sorry about that. What's going on, Demon? We got to talk soon, bro. Just call me anytime when you're ready, man. I'm available. And everybody else that joined us today, this morning. Lance Reed, what's happening? What's going on, man? So yeah, I just want to get that point across. So you guys be looking forward for Johnny Ray and Nose. We'll probably drop part one today, and then we'll move forward. And then you guys get to see that when he talks about the song Crip Dog that was written by Al Johnson out of 1974. Go Google it. You don't have to take my word for it. And it's on YouTube. The actual song is on YouTube, you know. Whether the purpose of it was for the Crips itself, but you know, I don't know. I'll let you determine that. You know what I mean? But but they definitely gravitated towards it. Trust me, they gravitated towards it real good. So with that being said, I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. I appreciate all you guys dropping in. Have a wonderful day. Be good, be safe. Most of all, be well, because that virus is rapid right now. It is rapid. So a lot of even shout out to Big Deb. Big Deb is not feeling well. So that's my guy. I hope he gets better soon. And he'll be able to get back on, because we usually do a Saturday. And Big Deb was not feeling well. So I didn't bother him with it. We'll get back to it next Saturday. So with that being said, I am Professor Manuel, the Hood Postman, Unit of I. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the 1st and 15th. Matter of fact, Mike Marks, you go ahead and lock the door, because we are gone.